Hi, everyone. I'm Elaine Quijano. We're just about an hour away from President Trump's second State of the Union address. We haven't seen the president so far today, but he's expected to make his way over to the Capitol soon. The president was supposed to give his address last week, but it was postponed because of the 35-day government shutdown. Last month, a CBS News poll asked Americans to pick words to describe the state of our union. 5% said it was great. 27% said it was bad. Let's check in with our Nikole Killion now on Capitol Hill. Nikole?
Hey, good evening to you, Elaine. And we are actually joined by Congressman Swalwell. And Congressman, you have a special guest with you tonight.
I do. I brought Cameron Kasky. Cameron is a Parkland graduate. He and his classmates, after that tragedy, they used their voices. They marched in the streets and they marched on the ballot boxes, and I think have given us the best hope to have gun violence measures to protect our communities. And we're going to have tomorrow the first hearing in 8 years on Capitol Hill, a background check bill. So he's inspired me, and I wanted him to come here and hopefully hear a president that will lay out an agenda that will keep he and his classmates safe.
And Cameron, of course, we're coming up on the year anniversary of the school shooting in Parkland. Tell me how you're feeling right now, and what's the message you want to hear from the president tonight?
Well, I feel great, and I felt great ever since January 3rd, because we finally have a House, and which we haven't in some years now, that is willing to put gun violence on the forefront and is willing to tackle this issue for what it is. And that is something that I think people like me, students, and people all around the country can be really excited about, because finally we are going to be holding this president accountable. We are going to be checking and balancing our government, and it's really nice to see. But in regards to what I can expect from President Trump tonight, I hope that he, in our State of the Union, discusses the issue that is gun violence and talks about how he and the Republican Senate are going to put this at the forefront of their agenda. What I'm expecting is a bag of hot air. Now, mind you, I'd love to be surprised, but I'd like to keep my expectations low and my hopes high.
Well, the president is also bringing some guests tonight, as is the First Lady, and among those guests is someone who was an attendee of the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh, also a first responder from that shooting incident last fall. What are your thoughts on that and the message that might send?
Well, I can only hope that, considering the fact that he is bringing somebody who was at such a horrible event, he will address gun violence as an issue in our country. Mind you, again, I can only expect that will be brushed over, but seeing that makes me hopeful that the Republican Party is willing to address that this year.
I'm glad he's bringing a victim there, but if you recall, the president's solution was first he almost blamed the synagogue for not having security, and his solution is that churches and synagogues should have armed guards. And when I talk to people across the country, when I talk to students, I don't think that's the country we want to live in. We'd rather go after, making sure that people go through background checks to get weapons, that we ban the most dangerous weapons, that we have more mental health services, not just having armed guards in all the places that we thought were safe.
How do you get Republicans on board?
Well, I certainly think that we do not take President Trump's approach from after the Parkland shooting, where he claimed that he would have run in even if he was not armed. Although that is interesting to think about, I don't think that that's the mindset we should have. I think that the best way to bring these issues up to the Republican Party is to address the bills that don't touch the Second Amendment with a 20-foot pole, such as the background check bill that's being introduced tomorrow, and the several other measures we could be taking, whether it be funding mental health programs, whether it be funding gang violence prevention programs in inner cities. There are so many steps we could take to prevent this multifaceted issue, and it's time we start taking them.
Yeah, and I would tell Republicans, and I'm the son of two Republicans. My brothers are cops, married a girl from southern Indiana. So, I'm around hunters and people who shoot for sport, and I would tell them, if you're a law-abiding person with no history of mental health, and you want a shotgun to protect your house, you want to take your pistol to the shooting range, or you want to take your long rifle out with your kids, to hunt deer, we're not interested in those weapons. You should be able to have them, but the most dangerous weapons in the hands of the most dangerous people, we think that we can do better and protect more people.
Also, I want to talk to you, Congressman, specifically. I know just last week in an interview you said you were getting very close to a decision on 2020. Yeah. Any closer today?
Well, we are getting close. I think the country really wants an agenda of going big on the issues we take on, being bold in the solutions that are offered, like on gun violence, and doing good in the way that we would govern. Look, I'm the first in my family to go to college. I've seen grit and want and struggle. I still have, student loan debt today, raising a young family. I'm connected to that American experience, and I don't see a lot of candidates that are.
So
That's why I'm considering it and getting very close. Cameron and I did a town hall together in Des Moines, Iowa, on the issue of gun violence, and so I'm kind of in the listening part right now, and I'm going to be in New Hampshire and Iowa again in the next 2 weeks.
Okay, well, Congressman, thank you so much, and Cameron, thanks so much for joining us. Elaine?